Greetings, welcome, and thanks so much for joining me. It's Christian of Standing Stones Healing here with another Choose One of 3 card reading for your August messages. Welcome, August. Summer indeed is flying. Well, that is if where you are in the world it is summer. No matter where in the world you're tuning in from, I am grateful to have you here. And if you are new to these readings, this is how it works. You choose number 1, 2, or 3, and there is a corresponding card reading for your monthly messages. Now, if you know what your number is, 1, 2, or 3, there is a link down below to go there straight away. And if you don't know your number, I'll do a little bit of drumming, set some sacred space to allow the number to arise for you. 1, 2, or 3. Please join me in taking 3 deep cleansing breaths to clear away everything that's come before, everything that's coming later, and to focus in on this blessed present moment. What is your number? 1, 2, or 3? Greetings, number 1. Welcome, number 1, to your August 2024 messages. Number 1, you had 2 Celtic Dragon Tarot cards for the month of August. They are the 7 of Pentacles and Temperance. Okay, number 1, I've got clear messages coming up on these 2 cards, but let's see what else is in store for your August. Your fairy card is Making New Friends. Making new friends, number 1. It might be time for some new friends. We're going to talk a little bit about that, number 1. And number 1, your rune for August is the Warrior. The rune of the Warrior. Warrior, W-A-R-R, rar, warrior, not worrier. Although, number 1, you may have some of that going on for you at this time and throughout your August. Because here's what I'm getting for you very clearly, number 1. It's time for you to, I just heard very clearly, chill out a little bit. It's time for you to take a little bit of a break. It's time for you to slow down. It's time for you to take a rest and a pause, and time for you to find some balance. Now, number 1, when I say chill out, maybe that is literally in terms of the weather where you are at this time in the world. Maybe it's been kind of hot for you, but also metaphorically chilling out is going to be really helpful for you throughout your August. So I don't know, maybe eat some popsicles or something, number 1. But number 1, here's what I'm getting for you in terms of these cards with the need for some balance. Number 1, what I'm getting for you is that right now on your journey, you're having some influences from certain people in your life who are contributing to feelings of being off balance, feelings of being off center, feelings of being, I just heard grungy. I don't even know what that might mean to you, number 1, but feelings of just not feeling fresh. There it is, number 1. And it's time for you, number 1, to reflect upon how the people in your life are impacting those feelings and having an influence on those feelings. It may indeed be time to take a step back and to take a break a nap from some of your social commitments, ones that aren't filling you up, ones that are leaving you feeling a little off-centered and unlike yourself, and ones that may be impacting your energy negatively. Now, of course, number one, we can say, oh, well, it's not the people around you, it's you, and you have to control your own emotions and your own feelings, and you're giving power over them if they're impacting your feelings. Yes, absolutely, okay. And here's the thing, number one. If we think about it in terms of like a TV and different channels on the television, there are all different kinds of things playing at once. And you can choose if the station is turned to a gory horror movie that is impacting your energy negatively, you have the power to choose to change the channel. And so while some might say, oh, well, you're just letting the gory movie get to you, well, you can change the channel. And so, number one, throughout your August, it's time to be a warrior, not a worrier, a warrior, and to change the channel. And it's time to assert your power, assert your agency, pick up your sword, be a warrior, and maybe consider the ways in which the people around you are having an impact on your energy in a way that is not filling you up. And it may be time for surrounding yourself with new energy in the form of new friends, maybe more positive people, maybe people who are more encouraging, maybe people who just leave you feeling better about yourself than worse, number one. Now, number one, here is something that's also very important. We need to bring the energy that we want to receive. And so, number one, it's very important for you throughout your August to be putting out the kind of energy that you want to be receiving back. And so when it comes to assessing the relationships in our lives, so often we're so quick to say, oh, this person isn't filling me up. Oh, this person is so negative. I need to get rid of them, without first considering how we might be contributing to that negative energy and how we might ourselves be bringing the negative energy. And so throughout your August, number one, it's time for you to maybe take a step back from some of your relationships, take a little bit of a rest in order to help you find more balance, in order to really consider the relationships that are feeding you and those that are feeding off of you. So it's time to consider which ones are feeding you and which ones are feeding off of you, and to make some positive choices for balance throughout August, number one, particularly as it relates to those personal relationships. Indeed, it may be time to forge some new personal relationships with people who align more with the kind of energy that you want to bring in the world. But remember, number one, you've got to be bringing that energy. And so ask yourself, if you're sitting in front of the TV and the horror movie is really bothering you and impacting your energy and it's really dragging you down, why are you not changing the channel? It's time for you to ask yourself, number one, how you have been sitting in front of the horror movie and not changing the channel. So it's time for some balance, time to consider changing that channel, bringing in new, fresh, and positive energy, taking a break from the things that are draining you, and considering how your personal relationships are having an influence for good or not so good on your balance at this time. So number one, I'm sending lots of blessings to your balance throughout August. I'm sending lots of blessings to changing the channel, being the warrior, and recognizing that you have the power to find balance, create balance, and get centered throughout your August? Well, number one, I also want to mention to you that I have forthcoming in the very near future my book, Reiki Business Ready. Now, if you would like to be the first to know when that book is available, to get updates and to join the community, the link is down below where you can join my mailing list to find out all about that forthcoming book, Reiki Business Ready. Well, number one, I hope you're ready to assess the energy for your August and maybe make some changes. But no matter what, of course, as always, I'm sending lots of blessings and best wishes to your August 2024. Greetings, number two. Welcome, number two, to your August 2024 messages. Number two, let's see what cards we have in store for you. Your Celtic Dragon Tarot card is the Ace of Swords. Ooh, great card for you for your August, number two, the Ace of Swords. Number two, you have two fairy cards for August. You have Peace of Mind. Peace of Mind, number two. Great, number two. I've got clear messages coming up on those two cards, but let's see what else we've got for you. Oh, Quiet Time. Quiet Time, number two. Beautiful. Yep, indeed, I've got it. That definitely aligns with the messages I was receiving. And finally, we have the Rune of Defense. The Rune of Defense for your August 2024, number two. Okay, number two, here's what I've got going on for you for your August. Lately, number two, you've been having some feelings of wanting to bring something into the world or birthing something new, or even something new being on the horizon for you, whether these are dreams, a project, a new home, just something new for you, number two. That's really clear with this Ace of Swords, with the birthing of something new. Now, here's the thing, number two, the birthing of this something new is not without its challenges and has not been without its challenges. So, just like the baby dragon busting out of its shell when it is born, there's a lot of struggle there. The baby dragon, the chicken, the snake, whatever is busting out of the shell, the turtle has a lot of struggle in order to get out of the shell. It has challenges in getting out of the shell, and it has to struggle in order to be born. It has to struggle in order to break through. And so we've got a lot of fieriness going on in this birth, number two, but that is part of the process for you. And so know that if it's felt like a hard birth, it's felt like a hard birth. Let's admit it, number two. This new thing has not been without its challenges. You're being encouraged to know that as this birth happens, as this newness comes forth, as the shifts and the changes take place, on the other side of that is some quietness. On the other side of that is some peace. On the other side of that is a little bit more of a smoother road ahead. And so, number two, just know that as the birth is happening, as the newness is springing, there's going to be, or there is even right now, number two, just some kind of fiery, challenging, struggling kind of energy along with that. But just like breaking out of the shell with the birth, know that that's part of the process. Know that that's part of the experience. It doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. It doesn't mean that it's not meant to be. It doesn't mean that the stars just aren't aligned. As a matter of fact, when stars are born, there's a lot of chaos. There's a lot of struggle, a lot of exploding. And so number two, just know that that's part of the process. Just know that fieriness and that struggle about the birthing with this newness on the horizon for you is just simply part of the process. So recognize that, honor that, know that you're not doing anything wrong in that process. The baby turtle, the baby dragon busting out of its shell is not doing anything wrong in the struggle. It's part of the process. But after that struggle, after that breaking through, there is on the other side of that some peace, some quietness, some stability, even, number 2. So just a new sense of peace of mind, of emotional stability, of just a much more calm kind of experience on the other side of that hard birth. Now, number 2, here's something that you're being encouraged to watch out for throughout your August, is that because it's been a challenging kind of birthing, because of the challenges in this newness for you, number 2, there's some sense of defensiveness with the rune of defense and a sense of putting up some walls around yourself. Very clearly, number 2, just like the turtle shell and how that hard shell is there to defend itself, you're being encouraged to know that it's okay to drop your defenses, number 2, and that you don't have to keep those walls up. As the stability comes in, as things shift away from this fieriness and to a more peaceful, quiet time, you're being encouraged that it's okay to let some of those walls down, that you don't need to keep them up. And as a matter of fact, that they're going to, if you keep them up, they're going to inhibit some of that peacefulness that it's time for, and some of that peace of mind. If you maintain that mindset of defensiveness and you maintain that mindset of the walls up and the hard shell, it's going to impact your experience of that emotional stability and the quietness and the peace of mind after the challenging hard birth. You know, you've put on the shell, put up the walls, are putting them up because of the challenges with this new birth, but you're being encouraged to let them go. Let them go. It's going to be okay. Take some deep breaths, number 2, and know that indeed a more quiet time is on the way after this birth, including a greater sense of peace. Well, number 2, I'm sending lots of blessings to your exciting birth. This is exciting stuff for sure for your August. Of course, not without its challenges, but then again, no birth ever is, right? Being born is hard. Well, I don't remember being born, but my guess is it wasn't easy. I probably came out crying and screaming, and therefore, that is not easy. So number 2, I'm sending lots of blessings to the birthing. And number 2, I'm birthing a new book. So yes, indeed, number 2, I have forthcoming my new book, Reiki Business Ready. And if you are interested in hearing all about it, being the first to know when it is available and grabbing a copy, jump on my mailing list if you're not already, because I'll be sending out the messages. The link is down below where you can join my mailing list to learn all about my forthcoming book, Reiki Business Ready. Yes, indeed, it's been a hard birth. So number 2, I'm sending so many blessings and best wishes to your August 2024. Greetings, number 3. Welcome, number 3, to your August 2024 messages. Number 3, you had 2 Celtic Dragon Tarot cards for August. They are, number 3, Chains. Chains, number 3, and the 5 of Cups. Okay, great. Number 3, I've got messages coming up for you on these 2 cards, but first, you had 2 fairy cards as well. And so here's what we've got. We've got letting go for you, number 3, and vacation. Number 3, vacation. Great. Lots of clear messages here for you, number 3. And finally, your Viking rune for August, number 3, is opening. The rune of opening. Okay, number 3. So here's what's going on for you for your August 2024. Number 3, you have been really kind of lately, as of late, maybe holding yourself back in terms of tying your own self up. Number 3, this is not physically, you probably, well, maybe you've been physically tying yourself up. I don't know that for a fact. But definitely you've been emotionally and mentally tying yourself up. I just heard very clearly, chained to the desk, number 3. Now, number 3, that might mean different things to different people. And so that might actually mean to you being chained to the desk, where you are working a lot, number 3. You have been working a lot. Or maybe chained to the desk in terms of stuck in one particular place or one particular mindset. But absolutely, number 3, what's going on with this card is that there's a feeling for you of being stuck in place. And number 3, this is a stuck in place in your mindset. Primarily, number 3. And so the chains that you have been feeling around you, number 3, are all in your head. You have contributed, are contributing, number 3, to the chains. And so throughout August, you want to be asking yourself, how am I chaining myself? How have I been putting myself in chains? How have I been chaining myself to the desk? And to know, number 3, that because you have really been contributing to this mindset of the chains, you have the power to break out of it and to bust through it. Now, this 5 of Cups is contributing to this as well, because this 5 of Cups, when this card comes up for me, it has to do with a sense of not feeling worthy, a sense of a lack of feeling of belonging. And so number 3, along with this sense of a feeling of being chained, is a sense of self-worth, a sense of belonging, and a sense of, oh, do I really deserve to be free of the chains? Do I really deserve to break free? And do I really belong breaking free from those chains? Whatever those chains might be to you, number 3, that's for you to decide and determine. And so number 3, you are being called and encouraged throughout your August that it's time to let go of those chains. It's time to remove them. It's time to break free. It's time to bust out of those chains. Because remember, number 3, you're contributing to the chains. The chains are here and you're contributing to that sense of feeling chained. Chained to the desk, chained to a relationship, chained to whatever it might be, number 3. And you're being encouraged to recognize how you are contributing to this feeling of being in chains, including with the sense of not feeling like you are belonging or worthy, and how all of that is informing and contributing to this sense of feeling just stuck in terms of those chains. And so, number 3, it is time to let go. It is time to release the chains. Now, here's the thing with releasing, number 3. We often think that releasing and letting go is a boom, once and done process. Phew, I've let go. It's done. I'm no longer carrying it. Like if we carry something like a bag of groceries, for instance, or a brick, and we're like, oh, I'm done carrying this, and we just let it go and it drops to the ground and we're no longer holding it. We often think that's how letting go works, but it doesn't. Letting go is a process. And so the releasing of these chains is not the kind of thing where it's just, I'm going to just drop this chain and it's done. It's a letting go link by link kind of process. So be gentle with yourself as you let go of the chain link by link, and know that it takes time. It didn't take time. It wasn't a once and done kind of thing. Number 3, to wrap those chains around yourself. It was a process that took time, which means that the releasing of the chains, the letting go of the chains, is a process that takes time. So be gentle with yourself throughout your August as you let go, as that takes time. The rune of opening is here to say that yes, indeed, there is an opening with the releasing of the chains. Yes, indeed, there's great possibility here. And yes, indeed, it really is the time to allow yourself to release those chains, release some of those chains, and to know that it's going to take a little time to release them fully. That's just simply part of the process of letting go. But ultimately, number 3, it's time to take a break. It's time for a vacation. Remember, number 3, you're contributing to that feeling of being chained, and that feeling of being stuck, and that feeling of being chained to the desk, whatever that means to you, number 3. And so it's time to break free, even if for a little bit. We can let go of the chains, even just temporarily, by something as simple as getting up from the desk and going for a walk. You are not literally chained to the desk, number 3, even while it might feel like it. And so just getting up from the desk and taking a walk is like a little vacation. We don't have to go to some far off area, far off location in order to take a break, in order to take a vacation. Although, number 3, that just might be very helpful for you right now in the releasing of those chains. So number 3, I'm sending lots of blessings to the process of letting go of those chains for yourself throughout your August, knowing that it's a process, knowing that it's going to take some time. Also, number 3, I'm getting very clearly the encouragement to release judgment of yourself for enchaining yourself. So release the chains of self-judgment for putting yourself in chains, number 3, because we all do that. It's part of the human experience. So release judgment of yourself for that. Release judgment of yourself for feeling chained to the desk, even while you can just get up and go for a walk at any time. Release judgment of yourself for that. Send love and kindness and compassion to yourself as you release these chains link by link and slowly throughout the month of August. But indeed, there is light amidst all of the chained feelings. There is possibility. There is opening. The links indeed are falling away as you help them to fall away. Well, number 3, I'm sending so many blessings and best wishes to your August. Number 3, I have to say that I have kind of been a little chained to the desk myself because I have a forthcoming book, Reiki Business Ready. And it's almost ready. And so number 3, if you are interested in finding out more about that book, being one of the first to learn about it and to get it, please do join my mailing list if you're not already, because I'll be sending out information about the book to my mailing list, including the opportunity to snag it right away. So number 3, I'm sending lots of blessings and best wishes to your August and to breaking free, letting go, and releasing those chains. Sending lots of blessings and best wishes to your August 2024.